The last topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Eddie Hearn acknowledges Ryan Garcia did not take Ostarine to beat Devin Haney. We're going to listen to what Eddie Hearn had to say, and then we're going to discuss his comments. So here, Eddie Hearn was also on Andre Ward's show. So again, you're going to want to check out Andre Ward's show. It's on Showtime. All the Smoke, and he interviews boxers, promoters, everything. So he was meeting with Eddie Hearn, and he was asked about the whole Ryan Garcia situation. And here's what Eddie Hearn had to say.
Listen, I've had 50 positive drug tests in my promotional career for different fights. I know how it goes down, but this one was just like, you know, obviously then you do your research into what it is. You know, the amount.
Tested positive for two substances, right?
Yeah. I believe that.
Did the second one get confirmed?
I don't think it did. No, I think it was just Ostarine in terms of what come back. And one of the horrible things is it was on the night before the fight, and it was on fight night. So you know categorically that it was in his system during the fight. Not they cycled out 12 weeks ago, and you know it was in him in the fight. If I'm honest, knowing, being through all these different 50 cases and like stuff like that, it would lead me to believe that it was in relation to the weight cut. Right? I think you know enough as well. Like, I don't believe if you're cheating on a cycle or whatever, I don't know, in camp.
It's not going to be the week of.
No.
Or the night.
And you're not going to, so, you know, he says it was contamination, but if it wasn't contamination, I believe he's probably taken that to try and help him make weight for the fight.
That's what I believe. Given when the test, given the week that he popped. Obviously, the test takes several weeks, but he popped the week of the fight and then the night of the fight. You don't start taking things the week of the fight and the night of the fight. How he showed up to New York in terms of how much weight he was over. I believe somebody said, take this, some form of diuretic, take it, and he didn't do his research, and he popped. But he's responsible for it.
Yeah, for sure.
It just is what it is.
Listen,
So you heard what Eddie Hearn had to say. He said that if he's being honest, he doesn't think that Ryan took it for a performance. He thinks he took it to make weight, and someone gave it to him, and he popped. So Eddie Hearn is saying what we've been saying on Boxing Bros. And he said, in my experience, with over 50 cases, and then even Andre Ward co-signed it and said the same exact thing. So, Trill, what's your reaction to what Eddie Hearn had to say? Devin Haney's promoter for that fight, by the way.
Yeah. And they have a great relationship. You know what I'm saying? I feel like finally, you know, the dust cleared. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's champion for any individual right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so honesty is prevailing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and just to add real quick, Devin retweeted that and said, let's just say that is the case. Why didn't he make weight then? Which to me is the biggest pop the balloon argument rationale that I've ever heard in my life. But like,
come on, Devin. Like this, we know what it is, Devin. And you was disrespecting the kid, and you got 1.5 because you knew he wasn't going to make the weight. You did that, Devin. So you can't make that up now. You can't say that. You already got. You know what I'm saying? You got more than the honey bun. You know what I'm saying? For him being overweight, you got 1.5 for him being overweight, and y'all probably didn't even make that much. He probably got his whole paycheck. You know what I'm saying?
Trigger warning. Devin Haney fans may not like the last few comments.
I know.
You gotta start giving trigger warnings on this show, Trill. We're triggering a lot of people, man, from everywhere, man. We triggering Hearn fans. We triggering Turkey out of Sheep fans. We triggering fans of fighters. Like, it's just being wild out here, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't talk. You know what I'm saying?
Being wild out here, man. We might. I don't know why we. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. You were talking about Dev, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Nah, I just think it's kind of fly though. Everybody's coming out, and first everybody was, you know, on the crucifying Ryan campaign. Now I'm glad everybody is starting to be rational and think with some common sense behind this. Like we were saying, like, listen, Dev, this thing can really hurt. Like, I was sitting there thinking about it. Yo, Dev can mess around and not be able to come back from this fight mentally. Mm-hmm. Just how he keeps acting about this whole situation, it might be one of those Terry Norris situations. Like, yeah, he took that beating from him, but mentally and in his heart, he probably still got the fight in him, but he ain't going to be able to get over that hump no more. You know? He might end up going in there and losing his next fight if he's not, think about it well. Because to me, I think that this did something to him mentally, So I think that Devin, you just gotta probably just chill a little bit, talk to somebody, what I'm saying? Where AJ did, go see one of those sports therapists or something, because you underestimated this kid, you disrespected the sport. You said everything that he was gonna do, so you don't get no sympathy over here. I even said I didn't even understand why you was going over there bullying Ryan. I said I didn't like the fight from the beginning. I said he don't have nothing to offer. He don't have no belt. He doesn't have nothing. Even my brother did a beautiful breakdown when he said, this is what happened when you go against somebody that doesn't have nothing to lose. And I thought that was beautiful because you went in there and thinking that you was getting the cherry and it got sour in there. You underestimated, had his hands down. You wasn't fighting like how you supposed to because you had false sense of who you was because of the Regis weight bullying situation. It is what it is. It's
the last 4 fights were weight bullying.
It was really documented to the point where Regis could have really tried to protest and got his win back. He could have protested and got his win back. How they was talking about the advantage that he was having from the weight that he was gaining was an unfair fight against Regis. They had a whole meeting, the commissions, everybody got it. It was a whole big thing over there. So he gave him a false sense of security. He was going to do that same thing to Ryan, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And he was beating Ryan. He was just beating Ryan, except for when he was cocky. There was things he didn't do that Tank didn't play around with Ryan. Mm-hmm. He held Ryan the whole time. Bro, the ref had to peel him apart. That's what
he said. It. He said he was worried about Ryan. He said he knew about Ryan. He knew what Ryan brought to the table. He said he was worried about Ryan.
You should have like Tank did. He held him until the ref came over there and peeled him. You should have did that. You let go and got hit with the 2-piece and went down. You know what I'm saying? Holding him the whole time. You know what I'm saying? You let go and like boop boop. You know what I'm saying?
Tank got an IQ, bro. People sleep on Tank. Tank's a lot smarter than people think he is.
Exactly, man. And so was Ryan.
You know
what I'm saying? But yeah, I salute to Eddie Hearn, man. I gave Eddie Hearn some slack. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go because I had something that had an epiphany to me. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Eddie Hearn, he was losing money. I remember when you was talking about that, you made some great points. But then I was thinking about Eddie Hearn, and I was like, Eddie Hearn got smart. He realized that he was taking some losses, so he said, I'm gonna use somebody else's money. In comes Turkey Alish. So shout out to Eddie. Eddie's been keeping it a buck lately. So I hope this is what we're gonna see more from Eddie Hearn. So shout out to Eddie Hearn, man, and I ain't mad at his comments at all.
There's another interview. I didn't play it because I don't know the source and I didn't, I don't know how they act. But Eddie was saying that how they were asking him because they said there's the UK fans, some are disappointed because now all the big fights are happening outside of the UK, and you're still putting on cards in the UK, but they're not like the cards that are taking place in Riyadh. And he broke it down like the cards in the UK are the same. We just never could compete with Riyadh because we can't put that type of money together. And if we can't put that type of event together, and if we did, we would take a massive loss. Like even in the events we put on, we still take losses. And he said it in that interview. He said the days of taking losses are over. So he acknowledged it. And he said it. And props to him again. Like I said, with the whole situation with Shakur, I think he's getting it. You gotta showcase a fighter before you just throw him in with certain people. But also in this situation with Devin Haney, I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. I think it's really he has no allegiance to Devin anymore. Like when they were partnered together and they were working, of course he's on Devin's side. He said all the right things to help get the L removed and changed to an O. He said all the right things, but now that it's on the up and up and he's just speaking truthfully, he said what we all said. We think that Ryan took something to try to make weight and it was contaminated. And here's the thing where Devin's like, well, why didn't he make weight? Because he couldn't. That's why he took something to try, because he couldn't make weight. So he took something to try to help him make weight, and it didn't work. And it had trace amounts. And what's funny is because I was eating some cashews the other day, and I just decided, like, let me read the container. And the container says, may contain trace amounts of pecans, peanuts, this and that. Because in the lab where they put that together, they also put almonds and whatever. So it says may contain trace amounts of this stuff. So anyone who's allergic to it can understand that it might contain trace amounts of that stuff. So, like, it's funny. Go look at your food. You'll see that. Like, again, this stuff happens. So I'm eating cashews, and then I test positive for eating almonds. I didn't eat almonds. The company who put those cashews in the container did it using the same machine or the same that they use to put almonds. Like, it is what it is. At the end of the day, Eddie Hearn acknowledged this, and I'm glad he acknowledged it. And the reason why we're discussing it now is because just when we were being objective, talking strictly from the standpoint of logic, science, and what actually probably took place, people were saying all types of negative things, saying all types of stuff that wasn't related to the actual issue. Now, here's the promoter for Devin Haney, the one who was working with Devin Haney, the one who has access to all the information that you and I don't, who said even in his experience of reviewing over 50 cases, says the same things that we just said. Then Andre Ward co-signs and says, I think the same thing. So go call them all the names that you called us and go say that they're idiots and they don't know anything either. And I'll just close by saying this. You ever notice, like, and I don't normally do this, but I'll say something and people will hate on me. They'll say whatever, and they'll try to, like, look for things or they'll try to counteract. But over time, things play out the way that I said. Like, even with the way Shakur's being moved now that he signed the Matchroom, either Shakur watches Boxing Bros or Eddie Hearn, or someone put the bug in Shakur's ear about what I said. But Shakur's not hopping into a fight with, and so that's all I'm saying. You can say whatever you want, but just look at what's actually taking place. Look at what actually happens, right? And again, like I said, any news about money, this, and that, if you don't sit in the room, shut the hell up. Because Ryan and Devin would have told you they were making all kinds of money, right? And now they're saying they didn't get paid. You would have been the one talking like they're getting paid the numbers you saw reported. They were talking like they were getting paid the numbers they saw reported, and that's not the actual money they got. If you ain't been in this business, you don't understand. And I'm not talking about the boxing business. I'm talking about any kind of business, how people cook the books. There's a way to make things look a certain way. There's a way you commit fraud. There's all types of Ponzi schemes. You should go look at it. There's a great documentary on Bernie Madoff on Netflix, a lot of other people. But unless you're in the room, unless you actually see the assets, you don't know if what's being reported is true. People get taken advantage of all the time. Even in this situation, you have Ryan Garcia, the Golden Boy fighter, Devin Haney, the Matchroom fighter, saying they ain't get paid their money. This money that y'all keep telling me is lying all around, if it's all around, then why they not getting paid the money? And why is Turkey al-Sheikh funding everything? And why do people get paid when Turkey al-Sheikh's involved? I'm gonna leave that alone because, again, I'm preaching to people. There's levels to this, but all I'm saying to you is, believe what you see and less of what you hear. And what you see is the actual evidence and residual of what's actually more like the truth.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. I'm the commissioner, $12 Bill. It's my brother Caden. You already know it's LLG for life. Thank you for rocking with the Boxing Bros, where we give you our unbiased opinion on the greatest sport ever. We out of here. We're the Boxing Bros.